Hello, 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 Soul Fam. I'm just rearranging my camera angle. There we go. That's better. I don't know. It worked. I was so taken up in worrying about whether it would work or not, and it's worked, which is amazing. Hello, welcome to the month of August. How did that happen? How did we get to be in August when it seems like it was only Christmas yesterday and now Christmas is actually not far away? Well, let's leave it where it is for now. Mercury's retrograde. Thanks, Andy. I'm glad it looks okay. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Shirley. Ailing, good to see you. Andy, who else is here? Sue. Hi, Sue NB. Good to see you. So what's August going to bring us? Because as I was sitting here musing and pondering upon, could there be something clever I could say to kick this particular video off? Hello, Sharon. Good to see you here. Yeah, I know, Shirley. It's August already. Sil, good to see you. Yes, we've got a live. AMAC, hello. Good to see you. And what I've done is I've just written down a few sentences because I thought this was quite a good way to give you a real overview of the energies of August. So if you're sitting comfortably, I'll begin. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Janice. Craftomatic. Hello again, my love. So here's the little paragraph I wrote. Are you ready? Okay. August could see us running around, expending lots of energy, getting very hot under the collar, and then we find ourselves back at the point where we started by the end of the month. And this is because it's a month of potential action. And that action, I'm ad-libbing a bit now, that action we're going to really want to initiate now. But the action needs to be well thought through. And my senses of the energy, I'm still ad-libbing now. My sense is that I think we have to work with Saturn this month. Well, I always think we have to work with Saturn. And Saturn, well, let me just read the next little bit that I wrote. I said, be the observer this month. Save your energy for when the cosmos takes her foot off the brake and then you can strike. So when will that be? Well, yeah, it's not quite yet. I think Saturn has to re-enter Pisces for us to pick up the stray threads of that which we wish to manifest. And Saturn doesn't shift back into Pisces until September the 1st. This all fits in really well with the fact that we will remain in the shadow of the Mercury retrograde energy until nearly the end of the month. It's something around the 25th, 26th. It moves out of its shadow. So let me just see what you're saying. Circle of action. Okay. So scattered over here. Okay. Yes, Jim, timing. Now, I'm going to tell you the key points for August. And then I'm probably going to talk about something else, quite different. Okay, August the 6th sees Mars enter Libra. It's not very comfortable in Libra. It's in what we call its detriment. Libra's too nice and kind. So this is the seething rage that lies beneath the Libran energy that is really going to be bubbling to the surface with this Mars in Libra energy. Then we've got this really interesting full moon in Aquarius on the 9th of August. I'll come to that in a minute. Mercury, our planet of communication, our little trickster, finally goes direct on August the 11th, but it does not come out of shadow until about the last week of August. So then we have actually on the 12th of August, one of the probably nicest aspects of the month, Venus, our planet of love and relationship, self-worth, money, conjunct Jupiter. And that's in Cancer. And I'll come to that again in a minute. Then on the 22nd, the sun will go into Virgo. And then on the 23rd, we have another interesting lunation with the new moon in Virgo, which is introducing us into the sign of Virgo, where we are in September going to get some eclipses. And the new moon in Virgo is interesting because it's at the 0 degree, which means we actually get two, I think it's new moons in Virgo, because we get the next new moon is right at the end. It's at about 29 degrees at the end of September. I think I've got that right. And on the 25th of August, Venus moves into Leo. So that's the main headlines. Now I'm going to unpack this all. Let me see what's going on here. So, oh, okay, AMAC, you're in Rothsey on the Isle of Bute. How beautiful. That must be stunning. Yes, Andy, isn't it wonderful that we all connect here from so many different places? Hi, Sarah. Good evening from a worm, or do you mean a warm and sunny southeast Scotland? I think you probably mean a warm. Good old Mercury retrograde. Don't you just love it? Listen, do you remember the Astrobite I did? I don't know if it was the one, not the one today, the one in the middle, I think it was, where I talked about having a conversation with yourself in a mirror. Well, I thought, it's no good me putting these things out there and then not actually trying them myself. So I made myself today, not long before I came on, sit with my mirror and talk to myself. Now, there is a difference between talking to myself in the mirror and talking to a laptop and an empty room, because I'm getting the feedback. Hello, Annabelle in London, and Wishing Pool Tarot, good to see you. You've got crappy Wi-Fi in the coffee shop. Well, we need a tarot card at the end of our hour, so you must do that for us. And Bobby Lee, you're in Florence, Oregon, West Coast, fantastic. So have any of you tried this, what I was doing with the mirror? So I got the mirror and I was going, and I thought, God, I feel really stupid. Okay, here goes. I've talked about it. I have to do it. So I went, hello, Penny. Oh, scared the life out of me. Absolutely scared me to death. I was kind of like, hello. And anyway, I went on and had this strange conversation with myself, tried to tell myself to love me, tried to say, I love you, Penny. And that felt a bit uncomfortable. What it's done is it's brought up so much information in a very short space of time, from basically saying only a few things. There was one thing I said, which was something that was worrying me about when other people kind of crush your dreams and say, oh, that won't happen, or you'll never do that. And the face in the mirror, which is me, said, Penny, why are you giving your power away? Why do you think that those people know better than you? And I thought, oh my God, that's what I'm doing. I give someone else the power and assume that they must know better than me, and they don't, because actually only the divine knows what is going to unfold for us. The astrology doesn't. The astrology, remember, is a forecast. I'm going to give you the forecast for August, and that's what I'm doing now. And so this looking in the mirror is a really interesting experience. If you've only got 5 minutes to spare, try it. Have a chat with yourself. Talk to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It was tough. Let's see what, mirror work and shadow work. You have to pep talk yourself in the mirror often. Yeah. You have never tried, Annabelle. I can't believe in my 70 years on planet Earth, I've never tried this. Give it a go. It's fascinating. And Andy, you're saying having small kids, you could never imagine telling them they couldn't do something that they're dreaming about. Who are these folks who do that to others? I know. It's like they come, I think it comes from envy. And it's crushing your dream before it's even had. It's like you show someone a precious shoot coming out of the earth and they just go, oh, that won't grow. Oh, look, I'm right, it didn't grow. There's a real cruelty in that. And Jim, you and Mirror Penny have it right. Still, you know where you want your heart to lead you. It is an interesting experience, very enlightening. Cosmic BL, you give your mirror a high five every day, and you've got a sticker which says you are beautiful just the way you are. This is for everyone who uses it. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Hello, Mary Francis. Good afternoon from Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome. So if you haven't tried it, give it a go and check out the astrobites I've done in the last today, yesterday, and the day before, because they're a little bit different from the previous ones. I'm not quite sure what I mean by that, but the comments that have been coming in have been very perceptive about what I'm talking about, and they're reflective astrobites, and I think can be very helpful. Oh, still, you meant it was hard for you to hear someone told you that you can't. Yeah, your heart leads you the way. They held a different energy. That's right, Shirley. And I think it's quite a good analogy or metaphor for the month of August, because I think the month of August is going to be a little bit of a lot of fuss about nothing. A bit of it's like everything is going to seem like it is full steam ahead. We're marching ahead on all cylinders. We're really going for it and getting there and making these goals and looking at what we need to do to manifest them. And I think by the end of the month, we think, oh, I think I've just exhausted myself running around in circles and not really achieving anything, and perhaps being back where we are or where we were. But actually, we're never right back at the beginning, because we're back at the beginning, but we know it in a different way. Rush and Die Earthling. I love your name. You talk to yourself in your head a lot. Aquarius, full moon in your sign. You're trying to stop deferring to others. Okay, you're the youngest sibling. Do you know, Sil, I love that. I think we've got each other's backs. All of us have each other's backs. The Soul Fam, we're all on the same team. And the team is about personal growth, helping each other, empowering each other, encouraging each other to achieve those dreams. So let's see what I've got in my notes. Jim, I always think of Jim now. Back to my notes. So today, and I did an astrobite, which has gone up a few hours ago, Venus in Cancer is squaring Saturn and Neptune. And they, of course, are retrograde in Aries. And this is a fleeting transit. It may or may not, it's your first and last name reversed. Okay, I'll have to think about that. No, I can't work it out. My brain won't do it. Venus in your rising, on your rise in Cancer. Okay, Sil. Okay. So this Venus square Saturn and Neptune is, Venus is in Cancer, so she's at home. She is in a bit of a protective shell here, and she's coming out and challenging Saturn and Neptune. Neptune that is talking about, let's dream the impossible dream. And Saturn saying, are you really sure about that? And Venus saying, but it's going to make me feel so much better. How can I get there? And Saturn saying, well, it probably won't happen this month. So, no, I won't forget about Craftomatic. I won't forget about Aquarius on the 9th of August. I'm getting to that in my notes, and I haven't recorded the full moon in Aquarius yet. I will do that over the next couple of days. You talked for so long, Janice, that August makes you a little sad of thinking back, and you take it easy in how let it unfold as it comes. Yes, we do. Oh my God, you're all ahead of me. Yes, we do have a Jupiter and Venus conjunction. Slow down, slow down. Let's just slow down. Let's not get to all the good bits straight away. And you got a birthday, Cosmic BL, on Sunday. Happy birthday. Oh my God, that's amazing. So this transit today, if you want the long version, go and have a look at the astrobite. And the short version is really how we challenge our dreams versus reality, and how we feel about the sense of nurturing love that we put into our dreams. Like, you know, someone's just pulled a seedling out of my pot that I'm trying to grow. Well, I'm going to carefully pick it up as Venus, put it back, press down the earth around it, and give it a little bit of Reiki and say, now go do your stuff. Don't worry, I won't show you to anyone until you're ready. And I will put it back on the windowsill to absorb the sun's rays, and I'll give it some moisture every day so that the dream can grow. So that's really what today is about. We may feel a little bit deflated, a little bit, oh, why can't things happen now kind of feeling. So let's move on. I want to talk a little bit about Mars in Libra, because Mars goes into Libra on the 6th. So that's just leading up to the full moon. And Mars in Libra is a bit complex because it's in its, as we call its fall or its detriment in Libra. And it has to subdue its energy. It has to be more diplomatic, more thoughtful. And Mars wants action. Mars wants to do something now. It just wants to get going. And so there is this need from Mars in Libra to try and manage the need to rush ahead with balance. with diplomacy in relationships. To really go back to the paragraph I read out at the beginning about be the observer this month. Don't allow yourself to get worked up by the rhetoric we might see on the world stage, the promises that come to nothing, the opportunities and doors that seem to fling open, and as we get close, they slam in our face. Be patient. That is the message. So Mars needs to learn in the sign of Libra to assert its energy through harmony, through partnership, through dialogue, and not get caught into a passive-aggressive energy. And be a team player. Mars, on the whole, goes it alone. Now Mars has got to learn to work with the other. So what else have we got going on? Well, I think really what we're doing now is coming onto this full moon, because otherwise I'm going to witter away as I do and we'll have missed it. Oh, there's another energy, which is the Mars in Libra, trines Uranus, our planet of the unexpected and shocks, electricity in Gemini on the 8th of August. So this is just leading up to the full moon. Now it's a trine. So this feels as if it has an air of expectancy, but this may get expressed as frustration and irritation with people who don't get out of our way and see the wonderful things that can unfold and see how easy this could all be. There's something about Mars is getting his heckles up by the Uranus energy and muttering and walking away and going, well, I just don't know why I bother. I don't know why I bother because nobody's listening to me. So I'm just going to, Andy, you're a Libra rising and in the depths of trying to hurry up and slow down in August while you figure your life and health and work out. Oh, I know, sweetie. I know that's difficult. Did you miss Chiron? I did a Chiron Astrobite, which was on Wednesday. And that's an interesting one. I didn't think it was going to be that interesting until I started researching it, but it's quite an interesting one because Chiron has gone retrograde. And that's the thing about August. And thanks for bringing that up, actually, Cosmic BL, because we've got this retrograde energy this month. You know what it's telling us. Things take time. Slow down. We've got Saturn, Neptune, retrograde in Aries. Now Chiron, retrograde in Aries. Chiron, the wounded healer. We've got Mercury, retrograde in Leo. Cazimi the sun, as we speak, or just going behind the sun. They're sort of separating. Mercury's going that way and the sun's going that way. And then we've also, of course, got Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So this energy is really inviting us to take our time with all these things, because everything that is meant to unfold will unfold in the perfect way, at the perfect time, for the highest good of all. Oh, you watched it, did you, Sue NB? The Chiron one? Thank you. Yes, it became rather interesting. I didn't think so much would come out of it. Yes, Lord of Karma is saying something still with all these retrogrades. You've missed the Astrobites. Well, they're all there, Cosmic BL. So Mars trining Uranus the day before the full moon. We've got this build-up of quite fractious energy. And then we come to the full moon on the 9th. Mars will, at that point, be in Libra in opposition to Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Aries. So it's really triggering those retrograde energies, and they're going, oh, I'm not dealing with that now. I'm back into Pisces. Thanks very much. I'll come back and deal with you another time, Mars. But for now, I'm off. I'm out of here. So that's what Saturn and Neptune are saying. And Mars in Libra is going, hey guys, I just want to talk. And Saturn and Neptune are saying, no, you don't. No, we know what happens with you. You start getting all fisticuffs. You start pressing every single button you can find. I'm telling you, as Saturn, this is going to take time. This is not going to happen overnight. Now, this full moon is interesting because the moon and the sun at 16 degrees and 59 minutes, so basically 17 degrees of Leo and Aquarius, are not actually making an aspect to anything else. So the energy and the feel of the full moon is coming from the other transits in the chart. Now, and this is where I wish I could share screens, and there is a way, and I will find a way, and I'm going to put it on my list of things to learn, to teach myself, because the aspects in the middle of where the wheel look like an envelope. There's two like railway lines crossing, so that's like there's a crossing that we've got to get through. So this full moon is saying there's something we've got to get through. We've got to cross over. I don't know what this means. Just let me get this out. We've got to cross over something, and an envelope that is open. So if the envelope is open, then there is something that has been received. We receive something important in the energy through this full moon in Aquarius. Mars in Libra trines Uranus in Gemini, and as I said, opposes Saturn and Neptune in Aries. There is something or the potential for surprising information to be made available around the energy of this full moon that brings something to some kind of conclusion or decision, or we begin to see the way a little bit clearer. And if we look at it on a world stage level, I would say this is very much about trying to put to bed some of the difficult situations we have on the planet, as if world leaders represented by the sun in Leo are going to be saying, right, come on, let's see if we can get this all sorted out. What they're missing the point. They will be missing the fact that Saturn and Neptune are saying, not yet, you ain't gonna happen. It's just not. We've got eclipse season coming in September. Let's wait for that before we see any significant changes. And some of us have got to go direct again, but that's not coming anytime soon, apart from Mercury. So yes, absolutely, Russian die-earthling. Uranus in Gemini will create breakthroughs. But I think the glimpses that we get of what can come, what can manifest, are not here yet. It's almost like we are being shown a spoiler alert for what is coming in this second half of the year. And if we just look at the other energy that is happening in this full moon, this Mars opposite Saturn and Neptune is really underlining and emphasizing the need for make peace. We have to make peace before we can go forward. Now, I don't know what I mean by that. I'm channeling, which is often what I do, as you know. A fleeting glimpse that I can't grab hold of. That's it, Ailing or Eiling. Hello, Susanna. Great to see you. I hope you're well. Yes, a fleeting glimpse. It's a little bit like when you wake up in the morning and before you open your eyes, you've still got the information of the dream you've been inhabiting, but you know as soon as you open your eyes, you're going to lose it. And then you open your eyes. And then sometimes through the day, you get a fleeting glimpse of it, but you just can't grab hold of it. So it's like there's something we know, but we can't quite get it. So if we move on, because the next day, there's a lot of Mars energy. That's why I'm saying that Mars in Libra, it's a bit like he's got his slippers on in a bog, you know, one of these things you sink into, when he should have his Wellington boots. And he's getting so frustrated because it's really slowing him down. And he's wishing, why did I not put on my Wellington boots to walk through this bog? Because it's slowing me down to where I want to get the balance and the harmony and everything, so that we can get on to the next thing. Yes, wellies are stuck, absolutely. And so, Mars in Libra trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius the day after the full moon. Pluto here is saying, okay, look, Mars, take some of my power, but use it constructively, bearing in mind you're still in opposition to Saturn. Use it constructively. Look at how you can balance whilst you're in Libra. Get the balance. And maybe what you have to do in Libra, in this bog, stop wriggling, stop moving, stand still. Because I think it's the constant moving that is making you sink deeper. So it's a bit like when we get into those confrontational discussions, and once in, we think, I'm on a sticky wicket here. In fact, I'm on a losing wicket. In fact, I'm not sure whether I have enough substantial evidence to back up my argument. So Mars is kind of spoiling for a fight, but actually Uranus, I think, is almost saying take flight. Just cat hairs as usual. Just take flight. Just don't engage. Stand back. So I think it's about, how did we end up in the bog? I put Mars in slippers, actually, in the bog in Libra, that he's just got stuck. And yet, of course, Libra is an air sign and a cardinal. But Mars just needs to make sure it doesn't overcook things. So before I get really caught in this bog, let's move on to Mercury, our planet of communication, going direct on the 11th. How's it been for you? I mean, I've had a few issues, but I've kind of rolled with it. And I suppose in some ways it's been quite good, the Mercury retrograde. It's brought back some sort of situations to address in a good way. So I think there are always benefits to be had from what returns to us in a retrograde. And I think also, just make sure you don't forget that Mercury will still be in its shadow until basically the end of the month. So don't rush ahead and think this is all going to now fall into place. I just think, August anyway, if we know traditionally August is a holiday month, I think everywhere. And in Europe, certainly, August is seen as a month where everything shuts down. The factories, all of these businesses shut down for at least 2 weeks, and people take their annual holidays. So I think we have to accept that not much is going to shift in our personal dreams that we want to manifest until we get to that back to school energy. So now we come to this lovely, lovely conjunction of Venus conjunct Jupiter on the 12th of August in Cancer. Oh yes, Cosmic BL, you're right. Look forward to the Perseids in August. They peak on the 12th, the glorious 12th. And this is when we have Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Now, this can be beneficial in many ways because this brings in, I think, it's emotionally abundant. I think we're going to feel much more loved and feel loving. Venus and Jupiter are considered to be the two benefic, that's it, benefic planets in astrology. And, you know, with Venus representing the love, beauty, connection, self-worth, and Jupiter expansion, faith, generosity, teaching, blessings. So there's something here about the emotional nourishment and heart-centered growth that we can get through this particular conjunction. And I think it'll be a good day all round for all of us with relationships. So, hey, Mac, you're saying many of your neighbors could do with more love and understanding. I know an awful lot of people that could do with a lot more love and understanding. And if only we could practice what we talk about here. I know our unique little soul fam does its best. Oh, I like that, Sil. Next August, a soul fam meetup in a park near your new house in the UK. Oh, thank you, Sil, for reigniting my dream, which will become reality. I just have to be patient. So we have this lovely, as I say, energy of Venus conjunct Jupiter. What do we need to watch with it, though? Because it's not all hearts and rainbows and flowers, because it is emotionally rich. It's great for creativity, acts of service, empathy, and just to feel in touch with joy and happiness. But watch out we don't get into overindulgence or emotional dependency. Be wary of idealizing loved ones or clinging to the past, because remember, Cancer is the past, it's our DNA, it's family. And don't allow yourself to smother others with love or be smothered. Try and just keep a little bit of space there. And the other thing that we can do, which isn't good use of the energy, is we just don't move out of our comfort zone. We think, oh, it's nice and comfortable here. I'll just stay here, and then maybe everything will get better. No, we have to work. We always have to work with the self. Let me see what Craftomatic's saying. Mercury retrograde is urging you to speak your mind with the rough edge of your tongue. You have someone who tried to intimidate you in an accusatory way. I resent it vehemently. I love that word, vehemently. Craftomatic, don't take any SH1T. Own your power. Talk to yourself in the mirror about it. And absolutely, the right time will come and the right words will come. But be mindful of the Mars energy this month that can see us, in a sense, a little bit getting out of our depth if we do try to face a challenge or be confrontational. This is not a month to be confrontational. It's a month to try and take a step back. So let's see what else we've got going on. Ah, yes, this is quite important. Oh my God, it's already 20 to 7 and I'm still, you see, there's quite a lot going on this month, isn't there? Mercury is sextiling Mars. And Mercury is in Leo and it's sextiling Mars in Libra, and it starts doing this sextile round about the 15th, and it goes on really almost as far as the new moon on the 23rd. So this is a nice energy, it's helpful, and I think it can bring up energetic, informative, and powerful talks. Just don't let your, just don't lose your rag. Don't lose your temper. And if you get into a situation where you feel you are being undermined, cornered, disrespected, not valued, then walk away. Don't face it. It's better to walk away this month. And it's not a good month to be confrontational. Let me see what you're saying, Bobby. When Jim, 1 foot in comfort zone, 1 out there. I think we all do. Bobby, in many parts of America, teachers need to be back in school in August, and many kids go back mid-August. Oh, right. Okay. First week or second in the South in America. It's the end of summer as schools get ready and open up early. Bobby, your best friend lives an hour outside of Phoenix and her son started back to school yesterday. Oh my God. Yes, you see, in Europe, it's different because they tend to not go back to school to September. In fact, here in Malta and Gozo, they tend to not go back to school till the end of September. They have a huge, long summer break, and whether the teachers go back at all in August, I'm not really sure. But they have something called summer school. So a lot of the kids are going in for 2 or 3 hours a day and, I don't know, doing stuff, whatever they do. Craftomatic, you've waited over 2 years to speak your mind regarding this issue. Don't do it in August, is my advice. Please don't do it in August. It's not the best month to do that. And still, your schools go back in September, but then you have holidays in October. Yeah, they have half term in the UK and in Europe in October. And yeah, breaks are good for the kids. They're great for the teachers too. And I think it's the parents that aren't so keen on the breaks, probably. This new moon is going to be quite an interesting one because it's at the 0 degree of Virgo. And that in itself gives it extra energy. Now, once again, it is not making any particularly strong aspects like the full moon to any of the other cosmic bodies. What it is doing is squaring Uranus in Gemini. So I guess don't get too caught in the details. Don't lose your rag. Don't explode with that Uranus energy. Allow that energy to break through gently with the Uranus trine to Pluto, which will help transform and empower you. And we've also got the sextile from Uranus in Gemini to both Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So there is this mini grand trine with the energy of this new moon, which is really giving us a moment of being on the threshold. I think it's interesting because if you think of everything else I've talked about for the month of August, this really shows that once we get to September, I think we're going to be in quite different territory. I mean, we're in different territory, certainly in August, very different from July and June. But this is not a month, I don't feel, to make massive decisions, change course, or confront anyone. So the Sun in Virgo on the 24th will square Uranus in Gemini. We could see very strong, strident language coming out of world leaders at that time. Really forceful and dynamic and potentially damaging information that comes around at that time. And then Venus in Leo will be trining Saturn and Neptune in Aries on the 26th of August. And that, it's interesting because today, of course, I've done the Astrobite where we look at Venus square Saturn and Neptune, which is giving us a little bit of anxiety and doubt, a little bit of doubt about asserting ourselves. Venus in Leo is a different kettle of fish. And I think that'll be a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more interesting, but we'll come to that later in the month. And then really we end the month with a wonderful opposition from Venus to Pluto. So Venus at 1 degree of Leo and Pluto retrograde at 1 degree and 51 minutes of Aquarius. So this is going to be deeply emotionally intense. So there is something happening towards the end of the month, maybe for us on a personal level, maybe internationally, which is going to be pretty kind of emotional and psychologically revealing. And I'm going to come to more of that when I do the Astrobites, because there's a battle there between what we love and what we actually feel very powerful about. Oh, right, Wishing Pool Tarot, you've got a card for the month. 9 of Cups. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful celebration. Wish fulfillment. Caution not to overindulge. Yes, we have to be mindful of that. That's wonderful. I'll come on to my tarot in a minute because first of all, I've got the word for the month. My goodness, I've been talking a lot tonight. So because anger is something we don't want to allow ourselves to get caught into this month, I've got some quotes here looking at how we can release and manage anger. So there's an unknown quote here, which is often attributed to the Buddha, which is, you'll know this one, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And Confucius, he say, when anger rises, think of the consequences. This is so August. This is so good for August. Mark Twain said, anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. And that's the truth. Buddha also said, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. And then we have an unknown, which is, don't let your anger control you. Let it inform you. Then release it, like smoke in the wind. So next, how can we manage and transform anger? And if you do have moments this month where you feel you want to react, maybe come back to this video and listen to the last 10 minutes where I go through the quotes, because Ambrose Bierce said, speak when you are angry and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. Well, isn't that us told? Harriet Lerner said, anger is a signal and one worth listening to. Plato, he said, there are 2 things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Profound. Lawrence Douglas Wilder said, anger doesn't solve anything, it builds nothing, but it can destroy everything. Oh, these are so timely. These you really do need to come back and have a listen to. There's an unknown one here, which is beneath anger is always fear, pain, or a longing to be heard. And I'd add to that, and be right. And now we've got finally some spiritually minded quotes to end with before we go on to our tarot card of the month, and then I'll see what else you've been talking about. Craftomatic, you're asking what are the specific dangers of confrontation this month? Well, it'll be very destructive to you. You may feel better for an instant because you said it how it is, but actually it's the drinking your own poison and expecting the other person to die. It won't be received. There's nowhere for it to go. Mars in Libra is impotent. It goes nowhere. Spiritually minded quotes. Muji said, feelings are just visitors. Let them come and go. Jack Cornfield said, transform anger into awareness. Don't act it out. Watch it, feel it, name it, and let it pass. Craftomatic. Benjamin Franklin said, anger is never without a reason, but seldom with a good one. Lao Tzu, nice Chinese sage, he said, the best fighter is never angry. And then finally, an unknown quote, which is, use anger as a fuel for action, not destruction. And I think that's the key, that we have to be aware that usually when we react and show anger, we only really hurt ourselves, because the other person can just stick their fingers in their ears and go, la 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 la. None of that's going to stick to me. Patience furthers, the I Ching. Yes, this is a month where it furthers the man to have patience. It furthers the man to stand still. So let's see, what have I missed that is being said? Oh, right, Russian die earthling. That's one of your favorite quotes about poison. Yes, it's a good one. Oh, Wishing Pool Tarot, you are so welcome. And I love your card for the month. I hope I get something as, oh, it's that one. It's that one. Oh, it's scary. Oh, okay, it's the moon. Okay, well, the moon. Maybe this is about paying attention to the full moon and the new moon. And also, because the moon can represent us feeling a little bit frustrated, going within, it can bring up depression and sadness. I think really what it is saying is it's epitomizing what I've just said for the whole of the month of August. Don't react. Just let things unfold. There will be a time, and it will come, where it furthers the man to go to the mountain, as the I Ching would say. You like the moon, Suen B. You pulled the skates card. Okay, balance, more activity. Fast and spontaneous, seize the opportunities, the unforeseeable. Flexibility. Yes, I think flexibility in thought, it just is so important, I think. If you can feel that rage is trying to get you to be confrontational, just stand back, go away from it. And still, Scorpionic moon, yes, and feeling intently. I think this is a month where we just really do have to see how things unfold, because I think there's a lot there is a lot bubbling away. It's like we've got this great big pot simmering on the front ring, if you like, and it's not going to boil in, it's got to stay on that simmering heat. If we turn the heat up, it's going to boil over and we're going to destroy, or it means that the meal that we are preparing is not going to taste very nice. So this is a month for prudence, reflection, and this too shall pass. Bobby, your daughter has a moon in Scorpio, conjunct her Scorpio moon. It's wonderful, but it can be a test. You love the moon. Hope it's not weird that I talk to it sometimes. No, it's not weird at all. Listen, I was telling you this afternoon, I was talking to my mirror. I mean, I cannot believe in all these years I have never actually talked to myself in the mirror. And I'm going to do it some more. And what I found, which was very interesting, it's like I've come right back to the beginning. This is all a metaphor for August, is that as I was talking, I thought, you know what? Maybe I should video myself talking to myself in a mirror, because it reminds me of some of these monologue plays you get, where you get an artist or an actor coming in, sitting down at a table, looking at the mirror and having a conversation with themselves. And often authors or playwrights can make a whole story up just from one person talking to their reflection. And I thought, what an interesting exercise. I thought, you know, I might just do that sometime, just as an exercise. So Mirror Penny has insight and wisdom for you. Bless you. Listen, my lovely, lovely soul fam. Okay, I am going to be back on Sunday for the week ahead, because then I can have a little bit more of a deeper look into the energies around that full moon at the end of the week. And we can look at some of the other energies of the first week of August, which is quite peaceful. So I think it'll be a kind of, your natal moon is in Virgo, blah, 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 blah. I love it. Yes. Oh, yes, you're going to get me twice this week. Well, I hope so, as long as Mercury retrograde doesn't. Oh, Shirley, bless you. You are a little sweetie. Shirley has just made a donation to the channel. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. And listen, thank you everybody for your continued support, your likes, your subscribes, your comments. And Cosmic BL, you've got natal Mercury in Leo. Happy birthday to those with birthdays, Cosmic BL. And yes, thank you, Shirley. I really appreciate. And listen, everybody, I'll be back Sunday. Have a good beginning of August. Just have a rest, have a break, and take it easy. You are all so welcome. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye for now. Bye, guys.